Welcome back to the Netutils Tech Roundup. Today we'd like to talk to you about Cloudutils. This is a collection of cloud solutions from network utilities that we're shortly going to be launching at Cloud Expo on the 29th and 30th of January. The Cloudutils solutions incorporate a number of different product offerings, one of which is Managed Guest Access, the other is Secure Radius, and the third one is Application Performance Management in the Cloud. So I'm joined this morning by Phil Smith from Ipanema, who's going to talk us through the Application Performance Management solution today. So I'd like to invite Phil now to tell us a little bit more about it.
Hi Vanessa. Yeah, so quite an interesting story here. So Ipanema have been involved with APM for around 13 years, so we started in 99. So the history around the company was we help service providers and very large enterprises deliver or guaranteed delivery in a sort of consistent manner for end users or applications running over their network.
Okay.
But this had all been done obviously over big, large private networks. So what's changed? Well, the cloud's changed that. So what people are doing now is actually running their applications over the internet, the public internet. Okay, it's in a VPN, but you're still relying on an unknown internet. So how do you build a consistent way with those applications running over there?
So this is all around the fact that more and more customers are demanding applications and solutions in the cloud. And some interesting stats here from Gartner saying they predict by 2015 42% of the UC market will be in the cloud.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what kind of applications are people using in this way?
Well, voice over IP has been very popular, so people are moving away from premise-based PBXs and they're putting them into the cloud, or they're putting them on a server somewhere that's servicing the whole of their branch network, for instance, and you know that could be again on a public internet service. You've certainly got things like Citrix, things like SAP, you know, a lot of the Salesforce.com. So we're going to, of course, the real big one is Microsoft 365, where people are moving entirely onto the sort of the Office suite, if you like, into the cloud. Things like the PowerPoints as well, SharePoint, and Link as well, which is running through. So some massive changes. And there are different ways of actually taking that. So it could be that they're working with a service provider who's building Microsoft Link, let's say, on their own server, or they're taking a public service that comes from maybe someone they don't know very well. And again, that's the problem.
Okay, so they can't really see how these applications are performing.
Exactly.
And so talk us through this visibility and control then.
So visibility, so what's going on? You know, so you've taken an application from someone who's offering you Microsoft 365. How is that being delivered to you? Well, frankly, you're not going to know unless you've got some method, if you've got some tool to actually enable that. So with APM, what we can actually do, we can start looking at those applications that are coming from the cloud providers. And you can start looking at the latency, what's going on, how that's being delivered. You know, it could be that that company's actually oversubscribing the way they're delivering Microsoft 365. So to you, if you're using it, it's a problem. So it gives you an opportunity with that visibility to say, well, hang on a minute, maybe I'll build my own 365 on a server with my own ISP. Okay, it's still over the cloud, it's still an internet service, but I've got more control over it. I know what's happening.
Okay, so it's enabling you to take better informed decisions about where your spend is and all of that, right? Okay.
So where do I build it? Can I take it from the internet? Do I take a hybrid cloud, public cloud? The other thing we can do is start looking at your broadband connections as well. So we can start assessing, have you got enough broadband? You know, is it suitable for the amount of applications you're trying to put on there? So we start assessing these. And then once we've actually got visibility, we can start putting control in. So, you know, which are the critical applications? How do we get this sort of consistent end user experience for cloud services, let's say? So with the control, we can start putting a mechanism in place where we can start really profiling the flows of the traffic and actually make sure it's delivered in the right way to the end user.
Prioritising business critical things when you need to and pulling back on other times on maybe some of those apps that aren't so critical day to day.
And you know, here's an example. I mean, voice over IP, you know, it's a critical application. So if you're you know, MD is talking to one of the suppliers, you don't want the calls breaking up. Something like Link, with Link you can open a desktop sharing session and that would take a spike of 5 megs over the network. Well, if you have no control over that, that voice over IP voice call can basically be an issue.
Okay, alright.
And then at the end we have optimization and acceleration. to be frank, if you've got visibility and control, 85% of the time, we don't, we don't need this.
Okay.
But as a last resort, we can start now manipulating with the optimization and acceleration with certain applications to make sure they're delivered in a consistent way.
That's brilliant. Okay. Thank you very much for giving us an overview of that.
No problem at all.
If you want to find out more about application performance management in the cloud from Ipanema, we will be with Ipanema at Cloud Expo on the 29th and 30th of January at Olympia. So keep an eye out on our website for details of our stand numbers, etc. and hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you.